inch likes. How will be like? Oh, brother. Good morning. Messa simpli. Messa simpli. 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 Then it's not inch. It's February 18, so really only practically 10 days until the end is February 6, 2026. It's when is the daily neighbor today? At the moment I can say not totally, but clear sky, days can't see in general. Stesso si misura stiana, si vede molto subito quando quello di si rivede also more evident cool channel golden TV, also can see the contrary. It's there is the wind golden TV at the same time stesso si misura stiana so viceversa. 9 and it's early afternoon 13 and 45 minutes. Fisicamente Fahrenheit 14 Celsius is means that is really cold like si per facolty cascade ci si for winter period so sta corso for sicuro si consiglia effect 100 and for just senti su factory for cam for just what the corso che la passa sama so apps non rimane for follow me less pass sama fin con body so factory for cam for just che diuro now also for the winter ne cam da to previous sono sempre tutti in particolare 16 for 3 pm in Italy ora sarà sono non remember fin con body so body non c'è supposto di I'm sure I see the remember things so the sometimes I propose effective vision to cioè io better non per sperare che sia tutto per me e quindi questo lui integra vision so for the spring esame di senza fare for spring so se c'è agiti soft for esame di agiti hot for auto one second agiti soft so tanto gira for si se pirata casi agiti la segretaria di crisi at least for me was something absolutely incomplete better not because consider the period it's winter it's cold so we complain should complain but when si sente absolutely incomplete I'm referring also to me in particular perhaps really for this period thanks for the fact that I don't feel cool better feel cool less another people thanks to studies of practice or better to practice particular follow in some years and to show us that for the cold and in general when it comes to winter period winter weather period always try to come check the spin time of access in this case I wrote it the first part of this comment with an asterisk so if someone is interested in the practice in the secret see the first part of the first comment with asterisk where no so più veramente fin con tanto effect feel cool veramente fin con yes or no this meant that think 90% feel cold however in general in some way for me always good instead but scatto situazione già tu finché che in sei music just for it's really good at least is can be some of music così Ingeri di afferma finché temperature condivise ripetici si fuori fisicamente Fahrenheit 14 Celsius but important Christmas sia that ci pedi si fuori we are today we are it's beautiful Blue skies associate also near many they are still visible but it should come out as a song I think in half of hour 40 minutes so now I'll say 3 things related will come out means in general section in particular first thing effect al singolo similar extract better refrain from classical and popular song sulle mie because the thing it's became a bit of a one long as passame up so I remember for me was passame think buono so mana tu sola più bello ne o solo mia s'affronta te o solo mia s'affronta te che s'affronta me s'affronta te questo fatto busca se lasciamo sul me this is a good thing che ci vuole se c'è chiamando not only beautiful da sublime c'è una canzone se terzi che se sono ripetiti che it's impossible a beautiful della crisi sotto che si fascia su che si obviously until now since the end of the video change parts 90 months ago, so no, start of October now before factory ben from now rivedem Sun Sky for radar for radar 4 hours pratically. Yes, more or less in comparison with the manifest room, because you know we are completely different time, or we are also in my judgment maybe I also can say I also can use the term schedule, but in general let's say time. Well, so cities quindi non altro in fase experience sono corti since last this is no corti since last November quando magari sono also birthday of the previous and at yesterday birthday in particular in previous only for the news only for those of the news it was a beautiful recording beautiful painted images to people who pass from fact the best content new things to mettere su ritorno nei comments in comment section so che should be pointed to the first comment or the fourth comment or on them so the comment section I don't know if you can see that's it well if shot from this shot near me I think from it I think yes see the green flowers on the flowers of crystal plants. Or if not, even better, usually better, shot pratica first part of the video which Perugia I showed you with a scatter strange classical mythical room, classical mythical room, so perhaps sono rosso della mythical queen, della mythical room. Or from a broader perspective, also from this perspective, shot Simon, grazie a shot momento del secondo fatto mistero, io non avrebbe quanto, sto detto in fra me, xate lì, c'è momenti di entrarsi go for the press cortini bit, beautiful grey cortini, beautiful pattern benches, if perhaps for the first cortino sto med corso per cortini fra me, xate lì, surely, la cortini stili copri mi dice c'è quando è solamente anytime. Scusi Egitto vede, così sì, si shot su solo diti, su fact, but when there is in the shot, not so when there is, but more when there is, che si measure, adesso io rende little picture sentence, che si for the cortini bit, beautiful routine, beautiful painted benches, perhaps sono for the first routine car routine, so the corso car routine, if I'm trying exactly this, so si chiede exactly this, and now si chiede also I'll see a little for this routine, so ripetere repeating special, also in case for 4 times, when this little speech or sentence is this, but also and always better visible for me, its entity, green is shot, si può antisemitico, leggenda shot. Così che riconosciuto in attivismo per fattimistica attivismo verso visto verso ottobre per supporto di supporto setto sul attivismo nazionale e le specializzate su supporto di ultimo split su guarda su split so repeat once again but also and always better visible for me in sentivity in this shot si può mitico leggenda shot. And finally from the video keyboard magic 40 PG 675 also in this video shot. 3 weeks, but in previous it was January 24th, to put a Saturday film and another new shot, another video which you can see another shot, which you can see, you can watch, sorry, you can see the actual condition of the keyboard, actual condition since December 2nd, 2024, and practically the main problem is the fact that isn't light, but there are little problems, but this is the main problem, but so now I'll try to fix it. Vedete molto piccolo sulla chat, poi si è getting so bene mi si sta so myself posso scherzo and finally I hope you all let breakfast it's late in general so myself come si late me for myself maybe it's the last time that one to for the first time. In fact, it's late in general for the people, late ball for Mario, but not at all for so kind of normality. Like breakfast at the hours, but let's say in the winter period, in particular, January, December, January, the main is the on this point of view, and dal simultaneously. But the whole part that is very from the direction someone into three so sorry in fact back sfintene swing start with the brinking me cat fintane parte me dei so to the est so think the record is record someone into three so sarà ciò what do you repeat what do you process the record late also for me ma se da me no more non yes sì just for era just roll io bisogna in quota 45 minutes Matta, the important thing is to remember that in some way also they fortunately so. I'm really angry. And that's let's just say. Ecco fa sono mosso senza furore. Absolutely. And as you know, since almost one but significant more than 1 year, yes, I was slow so to go to think like fact of facts for me reason 5, but it should be so for the new reason but one better thing next reason the crash in the week of 9 Friday ago, yes, it was the 50th anniversary of the person that beautiful had back and so what that trinfit model compared to quello sono di preso things that sono ne follow in fare so the finché da Boris so Boris Chinese and all other my videos my mother in the weather report in general where repeat this should be done video but prima to one day one time sì, check better su YouTube, presidente torneo stato sui distinti di speech, from the short some basically it's a joke so all the talk most mania, but no, what I talk at one more than 1 year, at in some soon from the business and I felt in fact that maybe will come so to be business I think that one mess out of the steps business chocolate chip cookies or the cookies chips chocolate chips. And if not mi seguo le favorite biscuits e Mr. Niche. But in particolare, tu in questo che sarà da sono about milk pack to shot non tolga si coffee così. Ma tu sto qui shop con le tag usate Photoshop per video, sarà shot in instance se finché se niente months. So si chiesa lo sto punci di si date il pira, sono i touch check better questo one is quick si finisce. Now this once in put it once in finché 235 37 days si chiesa adesso lo sto punci di si date il pira sono esattamente sono i touch better and so since at the moment let the pattern insert it once again the milk so very good news. And this is also technical as a back was a bomb set in particular mega bomb. If so si che salsi pira a gioco su altro come mosso mania so forse mi finto stanza per pira. E fizza come so se tolle le cose back was forse mega bomb. Something come ma così si fa in farebbe sia stata con the transitions. Quindi salsa in questa position. Perhaps execute this position. Devam pam già in questa position. Mi cosa? Altra questa position per me tra l'Italia e pam dark shock ci pesiras. In fact, was I told them to because they are really super bad. Adesso, tomorrow is supposed to drive. I can't tomorrow. Now I'll see. I bet if it's not visible, but the session is till came out season, I think 40 minutes more or less. But I repeat two things about these two things. So last time, two things I just before. The fact that sure the session till came out being totally beautiful. Did that sublime session in can't sense. The fact that it's impossible. So I repeat, it's impossible. Beautiful deal like this. Not to kiss it. The session so kiss it once again.